Welcome patrons. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of Tallis in the Mark of the Assassin DLC, but did you know that for promotion, they also created a 6-episode web series for it? Dragon Age Redemption isn't amazing, but it's not terrible either. You can actually watch the entire thing for free on YouTube, and I've linked it all in the description below, but if you don't have an hour or the patience, let me tell you about it. Episode 1, Tallis. Each episode starts off with a little text intro to explain a small concept of the world of Thedas. We'll go into these a lot later. But the actual opening is Tallis giving a voiceover about the CAIRN while we see in Chantry Prison. An unknown man and a Templar are torturing an elderly elven man, wanting him to talk about something. They begin to hear a commotion outside, and suddenly a few prisoners and a Qunari mage bust in and take them down. The mage, Cerebos, talks to the elven man, asking if he has given up his secrets to the Templars. He hasn't, but Cerebos sucks the secrets out of him. We cut to Kirkwall Harbor, and Tallis is cutting up some piggies. Two men start calling her Athlock, meaning that Tallis is currently a laborer, not Tallis at all. They taunt her, calling her Knife Ear, and she almost kills one of them when a Qunari walks in. You would think she would get in trouble for attempted murder, but no, we're not going to talk about that. He informs her that she has been promoted back to Tallis, and that she is to hunt for Cerebos. She is to bring him back alive. Why? I have no idea. The Qunari typically kill escaped Cerebos, but I guess this one is special somehow. Anyway, this Qunari threatens her, and that if she fails, well, there isn't really a solid threat, just that she shouldn't. Honestly, it's probably just becoming an Athlock again. Tallis is running in the woods outside Kirkwall when she spots a traveling merchant being harassed. She steps in at the same time as a Templar, which confuses them both. They fight, each trying to keep the other away from their target. During the fight, the Templar introduces himself as CAIRN, and the man is wanted from the Chantry for escaping. Tallis asks the thug where Cerebos is, which CAIRN expresses surprise that she knows about that at all. She responds that she's Tallis and she works for the Qunari, which, okay, just go right out and say it then, I guess. Tallis eventually catches the thug and asks where Cerebos is going. He says to a Dalish camp. She asks him to pray to his god Andraste, okay, and she kills him. Episode 2, CAIRN. CAIRN is upset Tallis killed the man as she rummages through his things. He demands to know what the thug said, but she refuses. Tallis flirts, and then he leaves. Cut to Tallis finding the merchantman who is being harassed, and she asks him where the nearest Dalish camp is. CAIRN is using Cerebos' phylactery to track him, which, guys, it's not like it points to all of the paths he took. The only thing it would point to is the direction he currently is in, so I guess CAIRN just got really lucky that the Dalish camp is right in the middle between a straight line of him and Cerebos. Anyway, the camp is in ruins, attacked by the Cerebos. Dalish warriors attempt to make CAIRN leave, but Tallis, who has been there for a while, says that CAIRN is with her, which Dalish trust their clan. Tallis has no Valasleen and is obviously not Dalish or of their clan. I'm not sure how she gained their trust so fast, but whatever. Tallis and CAIRN sit with a Dalish woman and ask what happened. She says that Cerebos attacked them and went through the keeper's Aravel. A young elf, who is the first of the clan, runs up and is worried that his betrothed, Fina, is missing. He believes that Cerebos took her. This is JOSMAEL. Tallis goes off with JOSMAEL to look at the keeper's wagon while CAIRN asks where the keeper is. Apparently he was hauled off by the Templars a while ago. Whoops! Also, the Templars don't go after keepers that much just because it's a lot of trouble for one mage, and it's just, you know, trying to keep the elves happy with the little they have, I guess. In the Aravel, Tallis finds some gold, which she takes, and JOSMAEL says that they also took the, well, here.
The golden mask of fen'harel, the god of nightmares.
Nightmares? I mean, I guess, but not really. Tallis asks what the mask can do, but he has no idea other than it's dangerous. JOSMAEL then says he meant to protect both the mask and Fina, but just froze during the attack. Tallis leaves, and we cut to CAIRN following the path of Cerebos once again. And then Tallis pops up and asks to work together. He says no, but then she tells him that she has a collar from the Qunari that once put on Cerebos would render him powerless and docile. CAIRN asks why she would join the Qunari, to which she says they gave her a purpose and that her name means to solve. She makes a deal with CAIRN that they will work together, and once they have the Cerebos, they will duel to see who gets him. He agrees. At this point, JOSMAEL pops up wanting to come and says he is useful because he's a mage. Episode 3, JOSMAEL. CAIRN freaks out that the boy is a mage, and JOSMAEL says that he knows how to use healing magic. Tallis stops CAIRN and wants to test the boy, so she throws a dagger into him so he has to heal himself to stay alive. What the hell? He survives by healing himself? But like, what was she gonna do if he wasn't able to? Just be okay that she murdered this kid? Like, he has no Valisline. He's underage. Like, holy shit. Anyway, CAIRN is still unconvinced, but Tallis says that he should keep an eye on the boy, so he'll need to come with him anyway. And off they go, following the phylactery. JOSMAEL keeps talking about his keeper, which is also his uncle, and is the same old man we see in the opening. CAIRN reports that he knows of him, and he's dead. Cerebos killed him. At a break, JOSMAEL is sad that everyone he loves is gone. Tallis says something about the Q not needing love. JOSMAEL goes on a rant about how important love is, and he reveals that he thinks Tallis and CAIRN are dating. They awkwardly say that they aren't. CAIRN goes off to say that he loved his family, and when Tallis questions the past tense, he goes on about how Templars aren't supposed to marry, which, I mean, some take vows, but you don't have to not marry. Anyway, this doesn't answer her question at all, but we'll get to that in a bit because drama. And then Tallis says this.
The Qunari assign us partners, if we're ever allowed one. It's much easier that way. Feelings just, they lead to trouble.
Which, no, Qunari don't marry or bond or anything like that. I guess maybe you can read it as Qunari are assigned a sex partner when the need arises. So I'm imagining sort of like a doctor, you make an appointment, you come on in, you fill out some paperwork, you bang, and then you just leave. And it's the same person every time, so they know what you like, you know, but okay, whatever. Anyway, they continue on and find Cerebos in a cave. It's some altar in the cave, and when the mage cuts Fina, JOSMAEL freaks out and the Cerebos' henchmen attack the group. CAIRN weakens the mage, but is attacked by a Reaver woman and breaks the phylactery. Cerebos continues on with a blood magic ritual, and the mask grows bigger. More fighting, our group loses, Cerebos takes the mask, and then shuts them in the cave and leaves. Episode 4, Nairi. Stuck in the cave, JOSMAEL is forced to clear the way because they all blame him for the current situation, which, yeah, he did do that outburst that broke their cover or whatever, but you guys lost the fight. But anyway, they question the Reaver who was trapped in with them. She reports again that she's just hired help and he paid in her freedom because she was trapped in the mage prison. Anyway, CAIRN reports that as the phylactery is now broken, they have nothing to track Cerebos with, but the Reaver pipes up that she knows where they are headed. Tallis uses the gold she found in the Dalish camp, which JOSMAEL recognizes and is angry about, but who cares? Nothing happens about that. Anyway, the Reaver and CAIRN argue about his treatment on the mages. Tallis demands that they don't argue. And then the Reaver tells them the Cerebos' plan is to go to a Dalish ruin on Sundermount and use the mask to rip open the Fade, probably with Fina as a blood magic sacrifice. Then they just get out of the cave. JOSMAEL picks up something off the ground, hint, 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 and reports that he knows a shortcut to the ruin. And off they go. They wonder why Cerebos would do such a thing, and Nairi, who is the Reaver woman, I don't think they ever introduce her, they just start calling her by that name. Anyway, she says that it's because he was abused in the Qun and wants to fuck shit up. So they all go to an inn to get food, and here we get a little insight to our characters. Nairi is from Navarra, and her parents were innkeeps. She became a Reaver to become powerful. Fair enough. She also fought alongside Templar Cassandra, although they didn't get along, which then CAIRN pipes up and says that, oh, that's the head of the Seekers. And Cassandra was neither a Templar or the head of the Seekers, but nice try, guys. Anyway, Tallis explains why she was demoted from Tallis originally. She had been tasked to get something without anyone noticing. Turns out the noble who had the item she was tasked to get also sexually abused little girls and had them all chained up in his bedroom. She freed them and killed the noble, and they demoted her because she disobeyed orders. Cool! Tallis flirts more with CAIRN, and then they're all attacked. Episode 5, Mercenaries. So they fight people, and they win. Walking at night, they recount that the thugs were hired men from Cerebos and that they have been there for weeks. How have they been there for weeks? I have no idea. Have they been traveling for weeks? This just seems like a couple of days, but whatever, never mind. Anyway, Tallis believes that JOSMAEL has betrayed them, as how else did Cerebos know they would be there? We learned that Fina had left a note outside the cave, which was the thing he picked up earlier, to meet her at the inn. CAIRN and Tallis are upset at how stupid he is. CAIRN is about to kill him when Nairi steps in and calls him out. She says that Cerebos got free because CAIRN had tried to kill him in the prison. CAIRN then goes on to explain that he went to kill Cerebos but was overpowered. He wanted to kill him because before the Chantry captured Cerebos, he killed CAIRN's entire family and the village his family was living in. So now he is on the hunt to kill Cerebos against the Chantry's wishes. He even stole the phylactery from him. He stopped a better investigator because he wanted to go on a revenge scheme. Whatever. Anyway, Tallis says that whatever the reason, they need to stop Cerebos, so who cares about what the past is, and that's when they notice JOSMAEL is gone. Episode 6. Cerebos. JOSMAEL has made his way to the Dalish ruin, which I don't know why they keep calling it a Dalish ruin. It would be an Elven ruin, but whatever. Nairi comes up behind him, and the group waits for Cerebos to show. Tallis and CAIRN have a talk about their deal, and wait. Hold on.
I have no regrets.
Holy shit, this is the same music from the end of the Josephine romance duel. I know Mark of the Assassin uses some of the music from the series. I should say, this series has its own music written for this. This isn't reusing Dragon Age songs. So the song used in the Josephine romance is actually from this scene right here. I don't really have a great ear for music, so if you want to listen to this, other songs from this place might have actually been used in Dragon Age Inquisition. I just recognized it. I just recognized this one. But anyway, moving on. CAIRN says that they should run away together, and then they kiss, which it seems a little bit sudden in here, but they were flirting the entire time. It's still a bit sudden, but I'm willing to forgive it. Anyway, Nairi and JOSMAEL see them kissing, and Nairi tells him that she wants to blow us some steam too. He says no, but she tackles him, and before the kiss happens, Tallis calls him over. And not to be that person, but Nairi is a lot older than JOSMAEL. This dude isn't even 18 yet. This is really creepy. Cerebos is now here. He places the mask on the altar, and a rift just appears. Tallis and JOSMAEL go to get Fina, but she alerts Cerebos. It seems she has joined them, wanting to be... well, I'll let her explain.
All I've ever been is the girl you were to marry. I wasn't special until Cerebos captured me.
JOSMAEL and Fina struggle. Fina gets stabbed. He just places her body on the altar. Why? Let's complete the ritual. Way to go, JOSMAEL. The blood activates the mask to float, I guess. CAIRN goes to stop Cerebos, but he is stopped. Tallis throws a dagger at the mask and shatters it before it can do anything else, and the rift just closes. Tallis and Cerebos face off, but CAIRN jumps in the way to take the magic attack, which kills him. Tallis then gets the collar on Cerebos, making him no longer able to use magic. She yells at JOSMAEL to heal him, but it's just way too late. Tallis then asks Cerebos why he wanted to do all of this, to which he says,
I had the means to do harm, so I took it. It was almost involuntary. How could I deny my function? Funari made me this way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then Tallis kills him for CAIRN. The group buries CAIRN and Fina, which, guys, for the last time, Thetis doesn't bury their dead. Fuck! But anyway, Nairi reports that she is heading back off to Navarra, and she will bring JOSMAEL back to his clan, where he will be made keeper. Well, he's currently keeper, but he's gonna go reunite with it, whatever. Anyway, JOSMAEL hands Tallis the broken phylactery, saying it could remind her of CAIRN, which, yeah, great. The broken necklace with dried blood from the man who killed him. Great idea. The group splits off, and Tallis says goodbye, saying this.
Who knows? Next time you see me, I might not be Tallis anymore. I could be Tal Vashoth.
Well, it actually ends with Tallis saying some stuff about souls being in between right and wrong and meeting CAIRN there, but whatever. The end. Discussion. First, let's talk about production a bit. I know a lot of people have made fun of the bad acting and obvious phone armor, but look, guys, for a low-budget internet series in 2011, this is pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the quality they got. I know, it's still bad, but again, low costs, 2011, this is what that got you. This is just what it is. I at the time, a lot of people thought this looked just awful, but that's how all of the internet series were back then. Like, look at any internet series from 2011, and it's about this quality. This is pretty, like, comparable to other things that were coming out at that era. But anyway. But one production thing I'm amazed at is that Cerebos is played by none other than Doug Jones. How did they get Doug Jones? If you don't know who Doug Jones is by name, I'm sure you know the characters you have played. The most recent one is the Fishman from The Shape of Water, the Faun and Pale Man in Pan's Labyrinth, and basically every lanky monster in every movie ever. Actually, I wonder if they just didn't have Doug Jones and just got some random ass other guy, would they've actually had more money to put into this? Did they spend all of their money in Doug Jones? Moving on, let's talk about lore inconsistencies. Let's start out with the intro text. On the first episode, and something we see later, it keeps making it out like the Chantry and the Channari are enemies, and yeah, I guess that's true, but it's more like everyone hates the Channari. It would be equally true to say that the Chantry fights with the Channari as Ferelden does, but at the moment, there isn't an unending war between them. There is a peace treaty in place. Tevinter, the only one who refuses to sign it, is currently in an unending war. In episode 3, it mentions Reavers use bloodletting, which, I don't know, I guess that's true, but Reavers in game seem not to cut themselves for more power, but rather use the wounds they have. But I guess it's not impossible for some Reaver to cut themselves to use more blood power or whatever, I don't know. Also, Nairi's face changes when she's trying to scare someone, and okay, I guess that's a thing. In Kirkwall, these dudes are taunting Tallis about her new lower title. Two things on this. One, is this just a boat of Channari converts? What is this place? I don't know what I'm looking at. Two, these aren't very good converts. The Qun believes that all are equal. If they really believed in the Qun, they wouldn't be mocking her. Fuck, they're on the same boat. They probably have the same job. This shouldn't be happening. The Dalish that do have Valisleen don't have in-lore Valisleen. Granted, I think at this point they didn't really have specific designs attached to specific gods. That didn't really seem to come out until Inquisition, so I'll give this a pass. Let's also talk about the phylactery here. Like I mentioned earlier, it's used here to follow his exact path, and also stop the Cerebos' magic, but it can't do either of those things. Templars stop magic because of the abilities they have by taking lyrium, which we never see him take any lyrium, but let's not get into that. Now, I'm saving this for last, but let's talk about the mask. The mask is where I think this series shines. While fen'harel was linked to the Fade and Dreams, this is the first time he's connected with ripping open the veil. I don't know if this is a detail given to the producers by BioWare, but it's an almost eerie hint as to what would happen in Dragon Age Inquisition 3 years before this even came out. We don't see or have any other mentions of this mask, and the one in Trespasser in the painting doesn't seem to be the same one, but just an interesting little connection. I am curious about the connection it has to blood magic though, as Solus isn't that fond of blood magic. But seeing as this isn't 100% by BioWare, I think it could just be written off as something we shouldn't worry about. It could even have been changed at one point in very early production. Solus was like super into that blood magic, bro. Also, it's just a fun prop. Look at this. I don't know, I just feel like the design of this is just a lot of fun looking. A while ago, they actually auctioned off a lot of costumes and props from the series, and if they had the mask for sale, I would have honestly considered buying it. If you know where this thing is, let me know. I just want to see what happened to it. Now, when it came out, Dragon Age Redemption was met with mostly positive reviews, with majority of people saying things on the lines of, it's not that bad. But those are reviews. YouTube and fan comments, on the other hand, are filled with complaints about the lore mistakes, low production quality, and cheesy acting. And I think both sides have valid points here. While there are a lot of incorrect lore and very low production, I think what I see and what the people who like this series sees is that unlike those IDW comics, they tried. The people who made this fucking tried. It might not have worked out well, but I think the people behind the series put their best effort into it, and I respect that. And here's the thing that I haven't mentioned yet. Felicia Day wrote this. Tallis in Dragon Age Redemption feels like a Dragon Age fanfiction Because it kind of is. There's even a video of Day playing the Mark of the Assassin on her own personal Dragon Age 2 save file, and the whole time she's just so excited that she's in the game. She's just a fan of the series who got a chance to write for the series. Which on a blog post she writes that from the time she got a call from BioWare reaching out to make the series to when it was released is about 18 months. As this was first released on October 2011, the same year that Dragon Age 2 came out, Dragon Age 2 was in early production when she wrote the script. A lot of these lore inconsistencies conflict with things from Dragon Age 2, so some of these could be that when she wrote it, it was accurate at the time, and then they just changed it. A lot of people complain about Day's work, but look, guys, if you had this chance, if I had the chance, which by the way, BioWare, I'm right here if you ever need me, wink. Anyway, if I had this chance to make and star in a BioWare work, something that I really love that she looks like she really loved, it would probably come off similar to this. Blame BioWare all you want because they implemented and paid for it. Well, I think AMD paid for a lot of it, but I guess we can blame them too. But still, if anything, I'm jealous of Felicia Day. So while this is very low on my favorite Dragon Age media tie-ins, I don't mind it. It's not good, but it's not a cash grab and it doesn't feel slimy and weird like other media tie-ins do. I think Day just really wanted to make this work and she put her heart into it. It just didn't work out very well. And if you're someone who loves some bad cheesy movies, this is alright. This is alright. I don't hate this. I know I'm on the record that I really don't like the Mark of the Assassin DLC because it is really awkward and weird, and just as this is awkward and weird, but I can't hate it. Like, I really don't like it, but I can't hate it just because I, as a fan of the series and seeing her as a fan of the series, I empathize with that. But whatever. Anyway, there's also a gag reel, which is kind of fun, so check that out. And that, dear patrons, is all that we know about the only live-action Dragon Age thing. Do you still have lingering questions, proof that I'm wrong, comments about your own fan theory? Feel free to tweet me at Godathon on Twitter or send a PM to user Gillanon on Reddit. Dress all.